Tyler, how are you feeling about camp so far?
Camp's been good so far. Today was one of our few. We haven't had a bad day, till today. So that's unfortunate. I have to talk to you all today after that. So, but yeah, no, it's really been good so far. Offensively, we've been executing at a high level. Obviously, our defense is a lot of additions to our defense, which is very nice. Trenches has got an upgrade, so we've been feeling that for sure. Pads came on today, and we definitely felt the D line. So I think that'll be good for us during the season.
What is it about the pads that gets people's blood pumping?
It's just a game of physicality. The game starts in the trenches, obviously. And I've been saying that since I got here, but I think they made it a point in this offseason to go upgrade the D line, and they definitely did that.
Could you tell who kind of was making a lot of noise on that side?
I mean, you never know because we got so many guys. I feel like plethora of dudes over there that can make plays, and I think that's what you want. When kind of have a platoon system, four guys come in, four guys go out. It should be dangerous.
What do you like about this year's team the most?
I think the depth that we have, along with the foundation that we've built, guys that have actually been here and are invested in what we're trying to do here, and then bringing in guys that want to win. I think that JG and Monty have done a great job.
How do you balance? I mean, it's great that you have these defensive players, and it's good that they're going to test you. But is there a point where they test you so much that you're not getting in the work that you really need to get done to click as an offense?
Today felt like one of those days where nothing could go right, and even when it went right, it just felt bad. But that's part of the game. That's part of practice. Obviously, we're making them better. They're making us better. At the end of the day, when September comes, we both got to be rolling. We both got to be clicking. There's also going to be games where offense isn't doing what we feel like we're capable of. Defense isn't doing what we're capable of. We got to pick them up. They pick us up. So it works both ways. But I feel like the depth that we have, in totality, this team, this unit, I feel like is definitely one of the best I've been a part of for sure.
You said earlier that year 7 Kyler is very different than year 1 Kyler. Aside from the leadership aspect, because that's been something that's been discussed heavily in the last few weeks, what has been the biggest area that you've seen evolve for yourself?
I just think, rookie year, you're trying to, even earlier in this, your years, the game's obviously moving a little faster. I've said it. I think now for me, seeing damn near every defense I could possibly see, the game just slowed down for me. Obviously, this is year 3 in the system with Drew. So I know what he wants. He knows what I like, vice versa. And then we got the guys Trey, Marv, Dortch, Mike, all these guys, JC, all these guys have been here. So that's just something we got to keep building upon.
What about the approach for training camp? Because I know Calais was in here and he was saying how, in the earlier half he wasn't as interested in the physicality component. And then when you start to see the value of that, it changes. How has your view on training camp evolved?
It hasn't. I think for me, I just try to go win each day. That's the goal, is to win each day. I'm not really worried about the past or the future. I'm trying to focus on today, get better today, and be consistent.
You talked this offseason about how going to year 7, time feels like a commodity right now, right? Why do you look at this season for you?
What was the question?
How do you look at this season for you in terms of its importance, its urgency?
Yeah, I'm not worried about what happened in the past or the future, but the season, the goal is to go win a Super Bowl. That's always the goal. And that's going to continue to be the goal. But focus on, one day at a time, continue to get better and be consistent. For me personally, obviously, offensively, we've shown flashes. The highest of the highs, with the best of them, but we got to continue to do it each and every game, each and every day. So that's the most important part for me, is continue to do it each week, each Sunday.
What do you think is the key to finding that consistency for yourself in the passing game?
It's tough, obviously. That's why the greats are the greats. They were consistent. But I think that's a collective. As a collective, we have to hone in on it, lock in each and every week, and do it together. It's a team game.
I know you were just saying you've seen every defense there probably is to see. On the flip side of that, are there still things that coaches or that you, when you're watching film, see that you haven't really done in the past, but you're like, hey, we should try this or this? Does that still happen, or is it to the point where you guys have done everything you could and now it's just tweaking?
No. This game evolves all the time. Drew, JG, all those guys, they've been coaching for a long time, and they still find new ways to do things. And opposing teams will do the same. obviously, just because I've seen it or we've seen it doesn't mean in the moment I'm going to recognize it or be able to decipher what it was. But I think that goes back to just trusting what we're doing offensively and trying to execute that.
How was your ability over your career to process a day like today and learn from it? And
Yeah.
almost use it do you almost see it as a benefit?
That's never easy going out there and having a bad practice. There are few and far between though. It's not many bad practices, but when you do have one, stings. But you also, we understand that this camp, it's going to happen. You look around the league, I'm sure everybody's had a bad day so far. So you got to learn from it. Come back the next day and make sure it's a better day. I mean, I've been playing football my whole life. It's never have I ever went through a season without a bad practice.
Isn't it kind of part and parcel, though, for the first day of pads, defense is aggressive?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. They got after us.
When you look at all the factors, right? Year 7 for you, your growth on and off the field. Year 3 for this coaching staff, the additions on defense supporting cast. Is this the best chance you've had to win here?
What's the best chance I've had to what?
To win, like with all the factors.
I mean, as a fan or and media people like looking at it from the outside looking in, you're looking at this is the probably the best unit that they've had, primed and ready for a big year, but it don't work like that. We still got to go out there and execute, and that's as players that we're not focused on the big picture, focused on the process and what it takes to win games. And I think that if we continue to have that mindset, we'll be where we want to be at the end of this thing.
For the past few seasons, for one reason or another, you haven't played in the preseason. Can you sense the benefits of what playing in a preseason game does, and would you like to play in one this year?
I just do whatever I'm told, to be honest. I think last year, the year before that, obviously I was rehabbing, so the next year I'm not sure how they wanted to do that. I think we were going to play actually, and some injuries might have occurred during camp, and that kind of affected what was going on. But yeah, whatever JG wants us to do, I think we'll do.
What are the things in your mind a team needs to be able to compete for Super Bowl?
Say that again.
What are the things, in your opinion, that a team really needs to compete legitimately for a Super Bowl?
That's a good question. I mean, that takes. I think that'd be a deeper conversation that we need to have. But you got to be a good team. Got to have the guys to do it.
The offense was rolling up until today, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., a big part of that. What's been the difference between him year 1 and year 2?
Confidence, and then speaking up. Obviously, I think everybody thought he was a shy guy. Now guys coming up to me like, oh, I didn't, Marv's personality, like he's coming out of his shell, all these things, which I think comes into play with the confidence. I think a lot of people will see a different type of side of Marv this season.
You've talked a lot about Paris and what a good player he is. I'm curious when you're watching him, do you think he's elevating to every? I know he wants to be elite. So what does that look like as a quarterback? Do you already see him as a guy that's that good? I mean, do you have to get honors somewhere else, or does it matter? Is it just a trust if you have him? Hey, he's my guy.
No, I mean I love having Paris as my blind side. I think it's funny you ask because he doesn't get the notoriety. I feel like he will, not necessarily deserve yet, but I think he'll get there. I think he can definitely be the best tackle in the league. Got the traits to be for sure. I think again that just comes with growth, confidence, and going out there and doing it. But yeah, man, I think people will soon realize, what he's capable of.
With the inconsistencies that you were talking about earlier for yourself in the passing game, did you feel like that was more of an issue game to game or more like play to play, series to series?
Well, what do you mean? I'm not saying that we were inconsistent as a pass. I don't think that we were very inconsistent passing the ball. I feel like we were pretty good at passing the ball. It just wasn't, the explosiveness wasn't what you would want to see. You know what I'm saying? But as far as consistency and completion percent, what are we asking?
Well, you were talking about how you guys showed those highs as an offense, but didn't always get to that point consistently. So it's just about getting to that point, I guess, at a higher rate.
I don't really know how to answer your question.
There's been a lot of talk about Drew Petting's offense changing from last year to this year. It seems like a lot of guys are picking up with different things. How different do you think it is from last year, and is there anything that kind of sticks out to you as the main proponent? Schematics.
No, I mean, honestly, when it comes to offense, there's not much more that we're not going to be able to show during preseason or anything like that. And we're not scheming up our defense. So right now it's honing in on what we do. It's not really throwing a whole bunch of new gimmick stuff out there. We're doing what we do, and we're trying to get better at that.
When it comes to running, using your legs, is there more of a comfort level having had the whole year last year after the injury? Do you still feel like that's it's the weapon that you want it to be?
Definitely. I mean, I don't know who in here has dealt with that before, but it's a lingering thing. It lingered a little bit into the last season, and now I feel like I'm back to where I was before that. Obviously, my knee will probably never be the same as far as that goes, but it's as close as it's gonna get.
How far into last season? What was it lingering?
Yeah. I mean, it's just something you got to stay on top of, something you got to stay on top of. And I think the people that I've talked to, year 2, which would be this year for me, is, the year you finally feel like yourself,
You mentioned Marvin coming out of his personality, his personality showing a little bit more. He was asked last week about when you two get together, what it's like, because you're both relatively quiet guys. He said, it starts kind of quiet, but we talk.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, I think he's a little more quiet than me. I wouldn't say I'm quiet. It's just y'all don't really know me, so it's.
You were saying how the greats in this league are consistent.
Yeah.
Is being consistent in this league harder than you thought it was going to be when you got to the NFL?
I mean, when you've been doing it your whole life at that, the best of the best level, yeah. I would say it's one of those things where, it's boring, doing the right shit over and over again. Like that's the I would say that's probably the secret to because in high school and college you can kind of get away with doing stuff trying to do too much. It doesn't bite you in the ass like it does in the NFL. So at this level, you throw a 5-yard hitch 9 times out of 10. You got to do that if it's open. Don't get greedy. And then it's just those type of things at this position. Yeah, that's the kicker. Is don't get bored doing it. They tell me that all the time. So that's definitely something for me that I would stick to.
Trey McBride had one of the best tight end seasons of all time last year. How does he top that? How can he continue to evolve his game?
I think you'll see another level that Trey can get to this season. Obviously, he came on the scene last year hot. Honestly, I don't think he started off too hot, but he finished. I think he's up there with the best of them. Obviously, respect to the guys that have been doing it over the years, but I think his name will be. I was telling him the other day, his name will probably be in the rafters when he's down here. So Trey's going to continue to do his thing.
Does Mars added muscle allow you to do more with him in the passing game?
His added muscle? Yeah, I mean, I think for his play, being more confident, being able to be more physical against guys that are bigger. Yeah, I mean, it's a grown man's game, so I would say yeah.